Hello, this is Kanoshi Abominito, um, here with Project Console, episode 45, The Dynamic Island. And before we get on to our topics today, I'd like my guest to introduce himself.
Yo, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, honored proud to BS Busters. Glad to be on another one of these casts.
Glad to have you. So, one of the goals of the cast is, we talk about games, but I also uh, want to start talking more about hold on.
Yes.
Oh, I also sorry about that. I also want to start talking more about tech too. So for our first topic, um, Apple announced their new phone, and they announced their new iPhone 14. Uh, obviously it's the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, which is new. They're actually giving you a bigger screen for the their lower end phones or their iPhones are actually more like their mid tier phones, and then there's the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, which there are certain features uh, that are uh, exclusive to the Pro Max, such as obviously the better camera or the Pro and the Pro Max, better camera, and they have this thing called the dynamic island. Um, so essentially, the iPhone. I'll uh, pull up an image of it, but the iPhone 14 Pro has a pill shaped cutout for like the for the camera and the ear piece when you are making phone calls. Um, and what they did with the pill shape is now it shows uh, your notifications and various different. Uh, basically, it's a window for like notification and like music control, video control. It was one of those things when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this looks pretty cool. But then the more I saw it, the more I didn't really the less interesting it seemed. Uh, it's kind of funny just because I think a lot of the reason they can't completely get rid of that spot is because of is because of the camera array for their Face ID. So it's not like because most phones just use fingerprint scanner, but the big thing that the iPhone pushes is their Face ID. And I guess the way the camera is set up, they can't completely get rid of the pill, so they have to make it functional somehow, so it seems less offensive. I don't know. What do you think? Have you?
Well, I'm going to be completely and 100% honest with you. I don't particularly give a shit about iPhone products, but I'm also going to be really frank and also say that I mean, if they are knowing Apple's penchant, what they normally do, I guarantee that they're probably stripping features out of
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good point because Apple giveth and then they taketh away. They took
well,
away they
it's
took
more
away
like they
some
take it
things,
away. There's no giveth. It's just take it away and then charge you to add stuff that should have been there and that used to be there.
like the headphone jack,
Yeah.
more ports for your like more ports for your laptop. Oh, we're gonna get rid of pretty much all the ports, and you're just gonna have to buy dongles, uh,
Yep.
and have your laptop look like a complete mess. I mean, I think it was what 2015, 2016 when they got rid of all the ports for their pro laptops. It was just absolute, and you know, you saw pictures of people with all these dongles sticking out. It's like, aren't laptops supposed to be, you know, so? And I understand, minimal, but in their strive to become more minimal, uh, they become more excessive. Like now you got to buy all this excessive crap in order to do
Yeah.
everything you need to do on your
Let
laptop.
me put it this way. I don't think that has anything to do with it. People have this belief that Apple, this is minimal and we're trying to simplify it. No, no, no. This is so that they can charge you more money for shit.
Yeah,
That's all it is. This has nothing to do with minimalism and all that bullshit. This shit's about money.
yeah,
All right? It's about money.
oh
All
yeah,
right? And people need to understand that. Like Apple is not your friend. They are about selling you some shit.
yeah, yeah. And another thing is they they took away physical SIM cards, so there's no longer, so you have to rely on eSIMs. So if you're traveling across the country, or not across the country, but if you're have work and you have to go to different countries for work, uh, that's going to make it harder, more difficult for you to switch over carriers. I mean, they give
Yeah.
you two eSIM trays, but still, that's
That doesn't really fix the issue. The problem once again is that Apple loves to take away features and then charge you for it to fix a problem that they created. We're going to sell you the solution to a problem that we created,
yeah, yeah,
which is, how can I put this nicely? Bullshit.
yeah.
It's total and complete bullshit is what it is.
And the thing is, it's like everybody's cheering about. Oh, now they have always on display, something that's been on Android for since time immemorial.
Yeah, didn't they add pension zoom to iPhones like 2, 3 gens ago? Like the iPhone 10 finally added pension zoom, something that Android has had for years. They
Yeah,
just added, and these Apple fanboys are like, "Oh my god, this was the best shit ever!" It's like, y'all are like Nintendo fanboys. Y'all just will take any shit as long as it's what you like. It's
yeah,
acceptable.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And what else? Yeah, I was thinking about getting an iPhone, um, but I guess I was just pretty much
Then you
reminded.
realize you didn't have the money for it. It was too expensive.
Too expensive, and plus Android's just much freer. Like, yeah, the Apple software is safer, and I mean you can make it that it it's safer. They're better at keeping uh, securing your data, which is questionable because I have read stories where uh, people's phones have gotten hacked and their personal information has gotten leaked when they took it to the Genius Bar. Uh, but it's just there's a lot more freedom in using Android. There's a lot more options, more customization options. Uh, but if you like iPhones for whatever reason, and I just don't really like the feel of their operating system on their iPhones. I like it works better for their tablets in my opinion, but yeah. But in any case, anything else you'd like to say before we move on to the next topic?
Nothing but, like I just said, iPhone is bullshit. Apple is bullshit. Apple is trash. I
Yeah,
said it.
yeah,
Um, I'm not saying there aren't people that like it. I'm just saying that it's hot buttered ass,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I stand by that statement.
Um, I think Apple does a lot of interesting things with their technology, but a lot of their business practices I can't get behind. Like not really being able to fix your products, having
Fix your
to
shit.
go through Apple, and they have this weird convoluted system that you have to go through. Like they're opening up more to fixing your products, but it's just look at it as like, yeah, this isn't enough. This is this really isn't enough. But yeah, that's I just wish, they're. I just wish like smartphones in general, and especially Apple's computers, were a little more modular, so you could actually fix it or replace stuff or upgrade stuff if you wanted to.
No. Why would they do that when they could charge you an arm and a leg to fix it?
Yeah.
You're thinking consumer first. You gotta understand, Apple doesn't care about consumers. Apple wants you into their ecosystem so that you can spend your money on their bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not about oh, this would be more convenient for consumers.
Yeah.
It's about you know, it's about getting paid.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know that's
But
hard for some people to understand, but
yeah. Well, in any case, our next topic. Supposedly the new PlayStation is better. Um, but here's the kicker. The thing about the Austin Evans, he's a relatively, I think that's his name. I know his first name's Austin, but he has a relatively big uh, tech YouTuber channel, and he got a hold of a PS5 that he got it from Australia, and apparently it's the new PS5. They cut out some parts and essentially made the cooling apparatus a little bit better. Uh, so what they're doing is they're constructing it in such a way that it's cheaper to manufacture, but yet at the same time they're raising prices in various parts of the world.
yeah,
And
because they're trying to make money because they are a business.
um, yeah, so I
mean,
guess people were upset about that.
it's a business. They're trying to get paid.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not. Look, I understand where people are coming from. I understand why people are upset. But at the end of the day, they are a business. They are trying to make money. Um, this isn't like back in the day where Sony could afford to lose tons and tons of money, uh, and it wasn't a big deal because they were still, they could afford to do that. Like, let me put it this way: Microsoft can afford to lose billions of dollars
yeah,
on the Xbox. Sony is not in that case. Think about it, okay? Microsoft did a flex. They're like, yeah, we're going to buy Activision. And they did. They're in the process of doing it. Sony's answer to that, to them buying Activision, is to buy Bungie.
yeah,
You know, shit. It's like, that's like a dude. That's like a dude bringing a 10 to a party, right? Right? And the other dude who's his rival brings like a 7. But dresses the 7 in the most ridiculous outfit ever. It's like, it still doesn't change the fact that that's a 7, bruh.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Microsoft has they have a great deal of money, and you have Nintendo that has their IP, so that they can lean on, and then you have Sony that
Ain't got shit.
really
Basically. I mean, think about it. Everyone's like, well, the PS4 sold really well. Yeah, because Microsoft and Nintendo fucked up last gen. It's
Yeah.
not because they were like, think about it. Every time Sony has done well, it was at the expense of someone else. It was never because they had a great product by itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, my point being is this, okay? In a world where the competition is relatively well balanced, all right, like Sony shit is about on par with what with what Microsoft has, and Nintendo just came out with their own shit that basically you know no one could really no one could really compete with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, and I mean, yeah, I agree with you to some degree about the fact that they are, they're trying to make as much money as possible, but it's not.
I mean, they're a business. That's kind of like what businesses do. Uh, I know people get mad. They're like, this business is trying to make money. Well, that's kind of the purpose of having a business. Uh, I mean, I don't know about you, but just like anyone else, if you work, right, you don't work for good feelings, right?
No.
You work for money.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on over there. They're working for money. Like, I don't know why people are like, oh, how could they do this? It's like, it's a business. They're trying to make money. Shit. What? I don't know about you, but you know, I I started a business so I could make money. I didn't start a business so that for good feelings.
Yeah.
Well, this guy really likes your product. Okay, that's cool. Where's my money? Where's my money? That's
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, but you're. So, what do you think the fine line is between uh, being anti-consumer and making money? Because we just talked about Apple and some of the
anti-consumer is when people get in the way of you doing basic things that you should be able to do if it were any other product. For example, you should be able to repair. Like, imagine buying a video game is like buying a console or an electronic product is like buying anything else. You should be able, before you have to go and buy a new one, you should be able to get it repaired,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, you want to take away features? Okay, fine, take away features. But here's the thing: if you take away features, I should have the option. I should have the option, if you take away features, to have those features in other things.
yeah,
Like, it shouldn't just be like, and the thing is, these companies don't consult. Like, I would rather not have a Blu-ray player on the PS. Have a Blu-ray player less PS4, and instead be able to, fucking. Like, I'd rather have blue and have it have real backwards compatibility.
yeah, yeah. So essentially, like just being alien to the marketplace, where or being or cutting out features or cutting out options that are universal to every other product. Like not having, I don't know, like for example, um, This would sound crazy, but all laptops obviously have keyboards. It's like, selling a laptop without a keyboard and being like, oh well, and then charging you extra for that.
Yeah,
That would be crazy.
and that's gaming though.
Yeah,
I mean, they strip features out, and then when you say, hey, mofo, you stripped out features. Well, it was getting it like the PS4. I would have rather just not had. I would have rather with the PS4 just not had. You know, friggin'. Uh, I would have rather not had. Uh,
the blue.
Blu-ray and had real backwards compatibility.
Oh yeah. Or
I don't.
rather than having Blu-ray, instead of focusing on creating a streaming apparatus, being able to stream, maybe you should have focused more on backwards compatibility. I think people would
Yeah.
have been happier with that than.
I mean, do you
Or you,
think people would have been happier with saying, "Hey, we don't have Blu-ray capability"? Because I mean, once once Netflix and all those streaming services, Blu-ray become physical media became absolute for watching movies. Because like if I get a Blu-ray, I can spend $10 on one Blu-ray and I just can watch that one movie. Or I can spend $10 and get access to thousands of hours of content on Netflix.
yeah,
So I mean, just on GP, like there's no reason for me to be caring about that other shit. It's
yeah. I mean, the only reason I buy movies or even TV shows or music, it's because it's something I really like. Other than that, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would just stream it. Or what? I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy a physical copy of a TV show. Off and when. But
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, people want to pretend like this shit is hard, and I'm like, it's not hard. You just don't want to do it. It's not, and they did it so that they could fucking because Sony is part of the Blu-ray consortium, and they make money. They make a lot of money being part of the Blu-ray consortium, or they made a lot of money when people were using Blu-rays. But streaming has basically said, "Fuck your, we don't care about Blu-ray."
yeah, yeah,
And and I understand where people are angry about it because look, I'm a audiophile. I love collecting music, vinyl, stuff like that. I love it. But at the end of the day, I also realize that I don't want to spend huge sums of money, you know, all the time to listen to everything.
yeah,
That's just how it is.
yeah,
People need to stop with that shit. Oh, God. Like, man, stop. Act like a fucking adult and stop being a bitch.
Do you think people are overreacting over the fact that the PS5 is, lessening manufacturing costs? Designing their console in such a way that it makes manufacturing costs cheaper for them.
I
At the
mean,
same
it's
time,
it's
raising
business.
prices.
They are a business. That is what businesses do. They try to. The whole purpose of a for-profit business is so that you can, you know, you want to basically make sure that you are making more money than you're losing.
Yeah,
That's the whole purpose. If you like, someday someone might create a console that is non-profit, but that day is not today.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They've lost a lot of money over the past decade or so. Uh,
Generations.
last
Every single
generations.
generation, they've lost money. This isn't
Yeah,
like, oh, this just happened. Every console generation, they have lost money. PS1, they lost money. PS2, they lost money. PS3, they lost money. Uh, basically, Never bet on Sony.
So essentially they can't afford to lose any more money.
No,
Uh,
they
uh,
and because the thing is like Sony for them, Sony is trying to make just enough money. They're trying to break even at least.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're trying to at least not lose money because Sony has never really the console business for them has never really been all that profitable.
And I mean, I know some people would argue that they're just using inflation as an excuse, but if you
I
look
mean, they
into it,
probably are. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying that because a lot of these companies are, but like if it wasn't that, they would have found some reason to do it.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but at the same time, if you look into it, I mean, inflation is a real thing.
I
Some of
mean,
these currencies have
look,
been
man.
suffering for the past, especially the past few months.
To me, it's just an excuse. It's kind of like okay, like I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, right? Like libertarians, the libertarian mayor of Ontario or some place in Canada was like, we're going to have a gas tax holiday, right? Gas tax
Yeah,
holiday, and this is going to make sure that these people stop these gas companies. They're gonna pass the savings on to you. And you know what the gas companies did?
they
They
just
raised
raised
their
the price.
prices, the oil and gas in that area. Want to know why? Because they don't. It's not the taxes or inflation. It's just they want to make more money because they're greedy bastards.
Yeah,
Like it, this false belief that somehow oh well, it's what it is that it's inflation. No, they just want an excuse to charge you more money.
yeah,
Look, listen, they're a business. I'm a business. I wouldn't want someone to just fucking do shit to me either. I want to make money too, but I'm also not gonna lie and be like, oh yeah, I'm charging you more money because of inflation. I'm charging you more money because I just want to charge you more money.
yeah, 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 exactly.
I mean, it's not because oh my god, inflation. No, I'm a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
I just want to make more money.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we move on to the next topic?
Um, nothing except well, just gets kind of annoying after a while. People always bitching about it. It's like, oh my god, it's they did this. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Y'all know good and hell well what's going on here.
yeah, yeah. So, next topic is Microsoft. Let me read off my notes. Um, Microsoft is not going to pull Call of Duty from PlayStation yet. It's
Yeah, keyword yet.
yet, but
Yet. I like
they've
how
been,
people are like, oh no, it's like, come on, man, y'all know what it is.
Sony's been freaking out about this whole Call of Duty thing for the past few
You know
months.
why, right?
Yeah, it's because they make a big chunk of money off of Call of Duty.
No, that and Call of Duty also has been selling most for the last two gens on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that too, because they have been the leading console platform, at least for that game, for the last
Two
few
gens.
years. Yeah, last couple gens. So they've been freaking out about it, and I did look at other examples of stuff Microsoft bought, like Mojang with the Minecraft stuff, and that's still on everything for the most part. Now, if they ever decide to reboot Minecraft, it'll probably be exclusive to PC and Xbox, but that That's my thought. Like, if they ever decide to reboot the Call of Duty franchise, it'll probably be exclusive. But in its current form, I think it'll be on, you know, the platforms it's been on for the last 10 years, which is the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So, like, people just need to stop freaking out. And what's his name? David Jaffe called Sony out and
Fuck
said,
him.
"Look, no, I mean,
David Jaffe.
no, but he called Sony out and basically said, look, you develop a franchise that can compete with Call of Duty." Uh,
Yeah, but they tried. Everyone remember Killzone? How Killzone was going to be the Call of Duty killer? I mean, sorry,
it,
the Halo killer?
it's
And
more.
that shit was not what they wanted it to be.
Actually, there was another game that they tried to push in PS3. Um, Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I think
Warhawks or Starhawk or some shit like that?
no. The game was called Mag. Um, it was called Mag. It was on the PS3. It was a very big multiplayer game along the lines of it's more of a more on the lines of like Battlefield, where you had large teams and you had objectives and all that other stuff. And that was an exclusive game for the PS3. It was people at the time compared it to Call of Duty, and
Call
that
of
was
Duty.
that was the big Call of Duty killer. It didn't go any. It ended up not going anywhere because everybody
Because
just
Sony
went
didn't
back to Call
support
of
it?
Duty. Yeah, that's possible. They didn't support it, and everybody just went back to Call of Duty. So, and, so I don't know. Maybe they could focus more on their IPs. I mean, Nintendo doesn't need Call of Duty. They've proved that time and time again.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Nintendo actually supports their platforms, whereas
Yeah.
Sony, as soon as shit gets hard, they as soon as shit gets a little hard, they cut bait and swim.
Yeah.
Remember how Sony was like, well, the reason that the PS4, the reason that we can't support the Vita is because of microtrans. It was because of the PC, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, not PC. It's because of smartphones. It's like smartphones have been a thing, and yet the Switch has been making money like gangbusters. So, what is your excuse?
Yeah.
Like, are you for real gonna say that
It's
with a straight
basically
face?
it's basically the Vita done better, the Switch, and
Basically, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and it again, it's selling. It's out. It's already. I think it's outsold the Wii. It's getting
Oh, it's
closer.
already outsold the Wii. No,
Yeah.
no, no. The Wii sold around 150. Maybe it has outsold the Wii. I can't remember, but it's doing really well. But to be fair, once again, I don't consider the Switch to be
Console.
a console. It's a handheld. It's got to outsell the handheld.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was a really bad excuse because the 3DS was doing well and it was less powerful than the Vita. So
Yeah.
I don't know where
So
they came up with
you
that
look at them. It's like,
excuse.
what's your excuse? You just lazy. You just some sorry ass bastards. What you? You're sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty sad. Uh, but Anyway, anything else you'd like to bring up about this topic before we move on?
Uh, Nothing except to say this. All I'm gonna say is to hell with Sony. To hell with them. Tired of them and their bullshit. Um, people are like, oh, Sony did this. Like, come on, man. And I'm tired of people. Well, look, listen, okay? They are a business. They are trying to make money. They're not trying to lose money. You don't lose money unless you can afford to lose money or you're trying to establish yourself in a market. The fact that Sony has been in the market this long and they still haven't established themselves, they're still losing money like that, tells you how poorly Sony was run for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we were saying earlier, it's like they just, and people scream about, all of Sony's wonderful IPs, and
Like, for
one,
real.
one, people don't buy them. Most of the sales go to third party games. Um, Two, a lot of those wonderful IPs they didn't even own; they were owned by other people.
Yeah.
So it's just if they focused on developing an identity, not I guess not necessarily just a mascot, but an identity beyond just how should I say this? Had a grouping of consistent IPs that uh, could carry them through the generations, or because every generation they kind of change their identity.
Yeah.
They're not.
Because initially, what was it? They used to be really into what's it called? JRPGs and Japanese developers, and then they said, "Fuck it, we're not going to do that anymore. To hell with that." And now they're just kind of like they're trying to be Microsoft, the dude bro console.
No, I think because they were during the PS3, like the latter half of the PS3 and PS4 era,
They
and
became the
that
dude bro console.
and then they're more interested in pushing these grand cinematic experiences like Last of
Movies.
Us, God of War, and just like they're these emotional experiences that people can get enraptured into. So
Movie
that's
video games.
yeah, yeah. Uh, so that's what they've turned into, and they just don't have this consistent identity. It's like, I mean, of course, if you grew up with Sony when you were a kid, they have that history, but again, I mean, it's just outside of that, you know, what's really going on?
Well, I mean, they don't really have good shit like they used to. I mean, where are the RPGs? Like I remember the PS1. You got three Final Fantasies on the PS1, 7, 8, and 9,
Yep.
plus the Final Fantasy Chronicles, which had all that other shit.
Yeah,
What do we have
Suikoden.
now? Not a damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, you had Suikoden, you had Wild Arms, you had a whole bunch of different Xenogears. I know that's a popular. That's probably more niche than the ones I listed, but
That
that
is niche, but you had a lot of games. You
you
had
had stuff,
Coffee and Cream. I mean, you just had a lot of stuff.
and
And now it's just a lot of bullshit, you know?
and then you just had a lot of people experimenting too. There was a lot of during the PS1, PS2 era, during the fifth and sixth gen. There's a lot of experimenting. Some of those experiments were pretty cool. Some of them
Stupid.
were pretty dumb. But yeah, you just had, you know, but now it's just, we gotta play it safe. We gotta play it safe. But in any case, our next topic is, uh, you'll probably know a lot of more about this, but Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a expansion in 2023. Apparently, it's going to be the
About
Apology
damn time.
Edition. The Apology Edition. So essentially, they're kind of re-releasing Cyberpunk 2077 for the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, and they are also and that expansion is also coming to PC. So it's essentially an overhaul of a lot of stuff. Uh, Basically, an overhaul of the entire game. I forgot what it's called. What the subtitle is called. It even has
Phantom
a
Liberty.
Phantom Liberty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on this?
Basically, I mean, it's about damn time. They had to do something. They couldn't just be just like not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like they had to have something come out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that launch was something else.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think. I think maybe it's because it's just super high profile, but I don't think I've ever come across the launch that was as
As bad I
atrocious
have.
as that one.
I have. You ever played Skyrim when it first launched?
Oh yeah, I remember. Like, it seemed like the media was defending that game. At least, this is at the time when I was just mainly got my news from G4, and, like Let's
Yeah.
Play, and people
They
were
they
like, "Yeah, it's
defended
pretty
that
fun."
game, but that game was fundamentally fucked from at launch. And I'm talking the patches, just like with Cyberpunk, the patches the patches were fucking up more. Were the patches fucked up? Like they would patch something and it would just get worse.
Yeah, that game got Game of the Year. There are outlets that gave that game Game of the Year. That's you know what?
Yeah,
That's even more embarrassing.
you think that's bad? You think that's fucking bad? Where they gave it Game of the Year? See, what was it called? What was the name of that damn game? Another game that shouldn't have gotten Game of the Year got Game of the Year, which was Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
And that game was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've heard that game's pretty pretty screwed up when it launched. You know, your usual falling through the world and stuff like that.
Terrible.
Uh,
And yet people are like, oh no, it's worth paying. It's like this game is shit.
so what do you
It
want to see?
felt. You want to know what Dragon Age Inquisition felt like? Imagine, if you will, imagine a huge open world MMO, but there's no one on the server.
Yeah.
You're just by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Looks really nice
charge
though.
people for that game. That game, they had the nerve.
It was using the Frostbite engine too, which wasn't necessarily designed to uh, play games like that
I mean, the Frostbite engine
or
sucks
develop
anyway.
games like that. Yeah.
The Frostbite engine is not a great engine, regardless of what's going on. But the
Yeah.
fact that they would fucking like that, it's not even the Frostbite engine. That game had less. That game had fucking less shit going on in it than
It was empty space. A lot of empty
no
space in
no
it.
What I
unnecessarily
mean by
construct.
that is, okay, imagine, if you will, you're playing, like, what's the highlight of an RPG?
Usually the friends you make along the way.
No.
No, no.
Well, I mean, that's a part of it. But, like, okay, when you make an RPG, right? Building your party, all that
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah, yep,
That's half the fun, right? You built a party, you did X, Y, and Z. That's half the fun of an RPG. Every single fucking class in that game, you could basically create from the base thing. There were no special classes.
yeah, yeah,
So essentially, you're just like, oh well, okay then. This is uninspired.
yeah. Yep, yep.
And that was the game.
So what do you hope from this reboot? What is your
Reboot for what?
or not reboot, but like this Cyberpunk? What is your hope for
I hope
this
it's
big update?
enjoyable. I hope it,
Yeah,
it, it better it needs to be polished as fuck.
yeah. I heard they're overhauling the AI because I hear the AI is not very smart and just doing a massive overhaul to make it. Essentially, it's Cyberpunk 2077, the Apology Edition. That's what
I
they're
mean,
turning
I'm not
into.
gonna go that far, but it's like it's gonna have to come out perfect.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and the thing is like CD Projekt Red had pretty much they had figured out how to make a good open world RPG with The Witcher 3.
yeah,
And yet they managed to fuck that up with this second game.
yeah.
I mean, with Cyberpunk. And like the thing is, I didn't even really give a shit about Cyberpunk. I was excited about what if Cyberpunk did well, what we could get with other shit. Like, imagine the cool shit we could have done with Shadowrun and other IPs. But they
Yeah,
fucking they took that and they shat on it.
yeah. Well, maybe if this does well, if they can market it right, and also not also just market it right, but it comes out and people are happy with it. Maybe this could pave the way for games like that. But I don't know. I think there's
Not
already
this
too much.
day.
Not today. There's too much damage has already been done.
Well, I mean, I don't think too much damage has been done. I think they might be able to pull it off, but it's going to take a while, and it's not going to be CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. In any case, apparently there's the rumored Nintendo Direct that we talked about last week. I guess there's speculation that it might be delayed because of the death of Queen Elizabeth, which is kind of weird because I don't know why they would do that
Care?
per se.
I don't know
Care?
why they
I
would
mean,
care. Yeah.
it's freaking Japan. Yeah, like when they delayed their direct for the earthquake, that makes sense because that
That
affected them
was them.
directly.
That
That
was their
was
shit. Yeah.
that was in Japan. I don't know why they would care about the Queen of England, the death of the Queen of England. That is so weird.
You
When
want
I
to know
heard that story,
why?
it was just weird.
You want to know why they would care? Because we live we live in a world where, because people were like, what do you think about what do you think about the death of Queen Elizabeth? Well, I mean, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I know. Look, listen. I know that was someone's mother, someone's grandmother, etc., etc. I feel sorry for them in that regard. But as far as me being like, you have to remember. Okay, first of all, this is America. Okay, we don't give a fuck about monarchs.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
No fucks given about monarchs. Okay, so let me just disabuse you of that notion. Okay, let me disabuse you of that notion. Second of all, I'm a black person in America, okay? Do you know who made a fuck ton of money off of the transatlantic slave trade?
British monarch.
The British monarchy. Okay? So, why the fuck would I care about a family that made their money off of my ancestors?
Yeah.
That's just stupid. The fact that someone could screw their mouth up to ask me, what do you think about the royal family? I don't fucking care. I legit don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And how could you be a U.S. soldier, a United States citizen, and be like, oh, you care? I don't. I really don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that because this was someone's mother and grandmother and all that shit. I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that story was very bizarre. I was just like, why would they care? That's nothing to do with them per se. It's not as I mean they're Japan. Why would they care about the monarchy and the several thousand miles away?
I mean, the only big thing going on is that maybe you could say, well, uh, the queen had a Wii that they gave him.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
She had a Wii. She had a Wii that she had a Wii that she was given by Nintendo that she apparently loved to play the Wii. But ultimately, I don't really give a fuck about like. I'm trying to be a little bit more circumspect because I do know that was someone's grandmother, etc., etc., but I really don't fucking care.
I mean, she was 96 when she died, so it's not
Yeah,
like she was
I mean, it'd
36.
be one thing, like, okay, if it was like when Princess Diana died, where she was like, a young person and pregnant, okay, yeah, that's terrible. But she was 96 fucking years old when she died. She was old, okay?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, you want people to be crying and sad because an old person died? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah. 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 Anyway, let's move on to
Yeah.
free topic. Is there anything else you'd like to bring up? Sound like you were about.
Aside from me not caring, that's about it. Just don't
Okay.
care. Don't care. Don't care. And if Nintendo is a company, so they kind of have to like kiss people's asses and shit. But I am not one of those people. Okay, I don't have to kiss anyone's ass. Fuck 'em.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Well, we'll move on to free topic. You got any free topics?
Um, Nothing.
No,
You got
nothing.
something you want to bring up? Something you want to talk about?
I just got my Steam Deck a couple days ago. Was it? Yeah, it was Tuesday. I got it. I've been playing with it last few days, and it's a pretty neat console. Pretty neat little handheld computer. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, it And it definitely see how far, because my first, well, that wasn't my first laptop, but the laptop that I started playing games on had integrated graphics, um, and it
And it
was terrible.
sucked. Yeah,
It was
integrated graphics
Intel.
have always been terrible.
It was Intel's integrated graphics, and it was pretty bad. But you know, the SoC that they're using in here, for the most part, is oh, I would say maybe not the SoC, but the optimization that I've seen on various games is pretty impressive. I use it to play older stuff, emulation, uh, and especially some of the older stuff. Pretty impressed with just because you can't buy a laptop around that's the same price as the Steam Deck. Even the main, because I got the top tier Steam Deck, the 512 gig. Um, you can't for the amount of money. It's hard to, especially the cheapest version, which doesn't have the only difference with the cheapest version um, internally is the fact that it has less storage.
Yeah,
And
and you can put another SD card in there, and it'll, you'll get 512 gigs.
yeah, yeah, and the thing is, you can't get a laptop that performs as well with games uh, for the amount of money that they're selling the Steam Deck for.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is, right?
What's the difference?
Linux OS.
Oh yeah, that's right.
See, Linux OS means that the system can use more of its power for whatever it's being designed to do without having to focus on running other extraneous bullshit like Windows is. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't it's not as doesn't have as much bloat, not nearly as much bloat. I mean, even when you go in the desktop mode, you can see how clean the operating system looks. Um, but yeah, it's pretty nice console. Pretty nice. It's more of a computer in a console like
Yeah,
handheld console like form factor. But
it's a handheld. It's a handheld factor laptop. That's what it
yeah,
is. It's a Linux handheld factor laptop. But most people, like I see a lot of people playing it. They're using to emulate the 3DS and the Wii U.
yeah, yeah,
Which proves the dual screen gameplay was fucking awesome back in the day, and I don't know why they just shit on over it. No, no, no. People just didn't get it. They didn't understand how awesome it was until they didn't have it.
yeah. I saw that picture that you posted in your server, and I found that I haven't read the article yet. I think I will, but um, I just thought it was pretty impressive. The idea of having, they essentially playing it like a DS or a Wii U.
Yeah. Hey
You know?
man, that asymmetrical gameplay was fucking amazing. Too bad everyone shit on it when it came out.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know,
funny.
I mean, really, I will say this right. I will say this to the end of days. The best way to play Splatoon, the best version of Splatoon is Splatoon 1, where you had dual screen gameplay. Because Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 don't even feel. They don't play as well because they don't have the dual screen gameplay.
Yeah,
Conventional controls really didn't make that game work very well. Or as well, I should say. But don't say that out loud. People get mad. Don't say that.
yeah,
The Wii U sucked. It's like, no. There's a lot of games on the Wii U that I really enjoyed playing. Shut up. It sucked. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. Whatever you say, bruh.
Well, Um, if there's anything else you'd like to bring up before we close it out?
Um, I only have the only other thing I have to say is this. I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed She-Hulk. I went to the movies today. I saw Bullet Train. It was really good.
What's that about?
Uh, it basically it's a throwback to like the early 2000s. Brad Pitt plays this guy who like he's like it's hinted that he used to be an assassin, but he's like I don't do this anymore. I'm just a thief. I'm just gonna go and he's basically he's doing one more job before he can go legit. You know, typical like anytime you have someone who's about to retire, they got one more job before they're about to go legit. It's going to go sideways. And in this case, he's on a Japanese neon-soaked bullet train
Yeah.
where he's got to get this briefcase filled with a MacGuffin. And
Okay.
essentially, it's got clever dialogue, some great action scenes. The action scenes were choreographed by the same guy who helped choreograph the John Wick film action scene. So, you know, it's going to be pretty good. It's pretty good film.
I might check that out. I think I saw. I remember seeing a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I was like, well, the thing is, I just really wanted to get. I just really wanted to get out of the house and do something because I was getting tired of just, you know,
Being in the house all the time. Yeah, I can see that. See
I
that.
just want to go do something. I was like, I'm tired of just being in the house.
Yeah.
Tired.
All right. I'll give your sign off and close out the show.
Mr. Red Fox, owner Pride of BS Busters. Glad to be on another one of these casts, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And this is Kenoshi Abominito here with another episode of closing out another episode of Project Console. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And have a good life. See you guys later.